In just a few lines I managed to very neatly sum up my family as it was in my childhood. The animal that's in it, when I look at it now, it looks a little bit like quite a nice smiling lion, but that wasn't what I was trying to depict. That was my father, and he's separate from myself, my brother and my mother. I think I was trying to get across, as well as the separateness, day-to-day life in our family was based in trying not to upset my father. And I think what I was trying to depict there was this kind of like sleeping lion that you don't want to wake up because the consequences won't be very nice. It's the only bit of colour in the picture, and it's brown, which colour I associate with my father. The three people close together and sort of like the opposite side of the circle are my mother, my brother and myself. My mother is, I've got her saying shush, which depicts that she was always telling us that we needed to not do anything that might upset our father. I'm not sure how much I thought about it at the time, but I'm the figure that's between my mother and my brother and my father. And that's very much how I felt a lot of the time, that because for a long time I didn't annoy him as much as they did. I always felt a bit like I was used as a go-between. Even if he was in a bad mood, it was possible that I would be able to interact with him without annoying him too much. And the other main thing about it is that the arrows which are bouncing off, that's depicting how it felt like the outside world didn't really break through into our family circle. Yeah, it's a complete circle. There's no way in or out for any of us. And even when I look at it now, I'm just thinking just a few lines. I said it all, really. It's quite simple, but it speaks volumes. I've often used images of the sea overcoming me, or me drowning in it, as a way to try to describe how I'm feeling in my depression at the time. And it's a very colourful picture of it, and even the bits which actually depict me at quite bad stages of my depression don't actually look that bleak. The figure at the bottom, that could be mistaken for me just floating around quite happily on my back, although it is, I think I am trying to depict that I'm just managing to tread water and my depression isn't totally overwhelming me. The figure on the left is me struggling a bit more. Always think about that. The poem, I think it's called Not Waving but Drowning, when somebody actually drowns because everybody thinks he's got his arms up because he's waving to them, and in fact he's struggling. The islands, I see the islands as times when I'm getting a bit of a break from my depression, and I've got myself trying to climb out onto an island, but not quite managing it. But there is a little one where I am sitting on the island, so that's depicting a period when my depression isn't troubling me very much. And at the top, two quite big islands. They've got the sun behind them, some trees growing on them, and they've got some question marks around them, and that because I'm not quite sure how my future will be, but I haven't painted it indicating that I assume it's going to be bleak, because the islands are actually quite colourful, and I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed the colour in it, and I was glad that I wasn't wrapping my future islands around in black or something like that to depict that I was assuming it would all go dreadfully wrong. So it seems like an extremely hopeful picture to me. And it's making me smile as I'm talking about it. The picture towards the end it's not so definite, but not in a bad way. It seems a lot freer, a lot looser. The one at the beginning is very constricting, which is how my childhood was. I've had the opportunity to talk about my childhood and to really put it all out on the table and really examine it and look at it from various angles, and it still feels like very early days, but I do now feel like it doesn't have a complete hold over me, that if I do find myself thinking about it, I'm more able to pull back from that and just basically think, no, I'm not going to go there. I don't now necessarily see my future as completely hopeless. I do still sometimes think that, but there are little glimmers when I think maybe it won't all be that bad. And I think that might be a direct result of the depth within which I've explored what it was like being part of my family. Art, I think, by focusing on something other than looking at your therapist's face, freed me up quite a lot. And I was able to express quite a bit, which I'd struggled to do in face-to-face talking therapies. It was quite nice to be able to play with paint. So I think it's about the fact that you're not just staring at somebody who's staring back at you, that you're focusing on something else. And in doing so, I just found that I said a lot more than I'd ever said in a talking session. Sometimes you just can't get it into words, but I personally would then think, oh, you're not doing this properly, you're not working hard enough because you're not managing to sum it up, whereas the art therapy was just very, very different. It didn't have that level of intensity, but I achieved a great deal more in it. I obviously still live with memories and the consequences of my childhood, but I am able to not dwell on them as much as I used to. Hope it continues to have less and less of a hold on me.